7 main mistakes of beginners in the STEPN application. In this video, I will talk about all the misbeliefs of beginners, because of which they lose money or earn much more slowly than they could. Be sure to watch the video to the end, because I will analyze all the most current trends of this application. So, the first most popular beginner's mistake is buying too expensive sneakers. When we buy sneakers for ourselves, we want to take the best. We want all parameters to be close to 10. And we also look at the gems, so that they are all yellow, or they are all 2 yellows and 2 blues. But in fact, that's all not so important. Well, of course, such parameters as efficiency and resilience affect our earnings, but it's not so important how many of those parameters we will have in total. Sneakers that will have, say, efficiency 6 and resilience 7, and in total it is 13, will be not too different from sneakers that will have an 8 and 8 for a total of 16. Look, when you level up to 5, you are given 20 extra points if you upgrade sneakers of the common class. In the beginning, you had a base of 13 or a base of 15. But when you added 20, then the difference is between 32 and 35. It's only 10%. It doesn't affect your earnings too much. While sneakers with higher parameters are much more expensive. They can be 20, 30, or even 50% more expensive. Let me show you an example. Right now we are looking at the market. The cheapest jogger costs 19.3 Solana. And personally, I would choose sneakers with the price close to this. So, close to the minimum price, but so that the sum of efficiency and resilience would be more than 10. Ideally, find more than 12. Well, let's get lucky here. I have found acceptable sneakers with parameters, efficiency 7 and resilience 3.2. Well, so they cost 20 SOL, which is only 0.6 SOL more than the cheapest ones. I would also look further, of course, up to 20.5 SOL. What we can find here and take the best parameters in this range. That is, the minimum price of plus or minus 1, 2 SOL. I would not look further because, as a rule, further the price starts to grow much faster than the payback speed. So the payback rate on more expensive will simply be worse than on cheaper ones. And in such an application as STEPN, the most important thing is the payback speed. Mistake number 2 is to pay too much attention to the gem slots. So every sneaker has 4 slots for gems. For example, in this one there is a gap for the luck gem called L, means luck. Another gap for luck, 1 gap for resilience, and 1 gap for luck. So, I think that the significance of this, especially for sneakers of the common class, means usual ones, is very much overrated. And the point is that it costs money to open a slot for a gem. To buy a gem costs money. While the cheapest gem gives you only plus 2 to some parameter, when you level up a sneaker by only 1, you are given 4 parameters that you can divide at your opinion. So, leveling up by 1 level is much more efficient than opening a slot for a gem and installing a gem of the first level. If you look at the gems of the second level, they cost about 10 SOL. 10 SOL, even at the current rate, is almost half the cost of sneakers. Gems will not be so effective to increase the speed of your payback. And, as I said, the payback speed is the most important thing you need to pay attention to. In the end, drop the gems and let's move on. Now, it doesn't matter. Next important mistake is an incorrect distribution of the parameters of the sneakers and, in general, an incorrect prioritization of these parameters. So, now in order to earn GST tokens, we are only interested in 2 parameters: efficiency, which directly affect the amount of GST that you can earn for walking, and resilience, that allows you to spend less GST token on restoring our sneaker. The luck and comfort parameters do not affect this at all. Firstly, when you choose sneakers, you don't need to pay much attention to these parameters. The sum of efficiency and resilience is important for you, and what kind of luck and comfort is now absolutely unimportant. When we increase the level and we need to distribute the parameters accordingly, we always have the question of how to correctly distribute our sneaker parameters. And here there are also several mistakes that are often made by beginners. Firstly, we always want to feed luck a little bit, because when we have an upgraded luck, there is a chance we will get a box. But it's not that simple. First level box can bring us only a gem of the first level. Very rarely will it bring 2 gems of the first level. But averagely, 1 gem of the first level costs from 0.25 to 1 soul. Well, only half of a soul, or $50, brings us the opening of the box. But the thing is that the opening of the box costs 9 GST. And for the exchange rate of $6, 6 multiplied by 9 is 54. Yes, we have to spend $54 in GST token in order to get a gem that costs about $50. You've been done out. So, from a mathematical point of view, there is no point opening these boxes, and even mining them is not of great value. If you want to know what way is right to upgrade the parameters, like this video right now and look further. Open the STEPN guide site. The link will be in the description of this video. And here we need to choose our sneaker. Let's say we have common jogger type, and it is very important to indicate the level of sneaker, the very level of the sneaker to which you are going to upgrade it. I recommend upgrading sneakers to either level 9 or 19. If you want to pay back as quickly as possible the body of your investment, then up to the 9th. If you want to play a longer game and plan to participate in the application longer, so it makes sense to level up to 19th. The difference is the following. If you decide to upgrade to level 19, then you will have to spend more GST tokens, and only then, when you will have upgraded it, you will start withdrawing money. And if you decide to level up to the 9th, you will do it in about 5 days, and after that start withdrawing your tokens. So, we decided to what level we want to upgrade, up to the 9th or the 19th. For sneakers of the common class. Then we set the amount of daily energy. If you have only 1 sneaker on your account, it means 2. If you have 3 sneakers per account, it means 4. And then you enter your basic parameters, for example 5, 6, 6, 5, and click Optimize. And this calculator will show you how to properly distribute the parameter. Well, in my example, the efficiency should be 36 in the end, and resilience 10. And it is very important to set the calculator exactly to the level to which you want to upgrade, because it happens that, for example, at the 4th level, the calculator will tell you that it is profitable to upgrade the resilience by 12. But you won't be able to rewind the parameter. And if at the 4th level you upgrade the resilience by 12, then you won't be able to return it to 10 on the 9th. You can't change the past. And if you immediately see that the maximum resilience you need is 10, then you won't upgrade the resilience by more than 10, since this is not optimal. The 4th mistake is that you choose the wrong sneakers for the speed. I will remind you that on the sneaker types, there is Walker. They have a speed range from 1 to 6 kilometers an hour. So you can walk calmly and don't hurry. There are joggers. The speed range is from 4 to 10 kilometers per hour. Well, for me, this is such a fairly fast walking, but not super fast, and maybe even easy running. There are runners, and runners' speed ranges from 8 to 12 kilometers an hour. And the biggest mistake, and even I have made it at the very beginning, I saw that runners are cheaper. In terms of payback, they are the most effective, and decided to buy runners with good parameters. I bought myself a runner with good parameters. I started to upgrade it and thought that, well, in general, I run. In general, I can maintain a speed of 8 to 10 kilometers an hour, and it would seem not too much. In reality, it turned out that even if we keep the pace at 8 to 9 kilometers an hour, the problem is that the application fluctuates. It means it does not set a clear pace for us. Although we can run at the same pace from time to time, the signal doesn't work. or there is something else, but there is always some fluctuations. We run at the same pace and about 8 to 9 kilometers an hour, but half the time the application shows us less than 8 and half the time close to 10. It turns out that half the time when we have less than 8, then tokens are not credited to us at all. Because of this, the payback, of course, becomes much worse. It turns out that maintaining a pace of 8 to 10 kilometers an hour for a runner is simply not profitable, and therefore they need to keep a pace of 10 to 14 kilometers for a runner, which means on average we must run 12 to 13 kilometers an hour, and 12 to 13 kilometers an hour is very fast. And personally, it caused me a lot of stress. So I ran for 2 days and realized that, well, it's not for me. 20 minutes of running in such a tempo is really hard. Maybe with pauses, yes, it will be okay. I think it is okay, and by the way, maybe in summer, I'll specially take runners for myself so that I can challenge myself for such powerful runs at high speed. But now I just simply don't feel comfortable doing it all the time. Then I changed the sneakers to joggers and, so, fast walking, easy running, and this suits me much more. And it is also important to keep the speed range for joggers without going down to the lower border, so you don't have to go 4 to 5 kilometers an hour. Otherwise, you will also often fall below the lower range and not receive tokens. You need to walk 6 to 8 kilometers an hour for joggers. This will be optimal, and you will always receive tokens for walking. By the way, I wonder what kind of sneakers do you have? At what pace do you run? How much time a day do you spend on it? And read each other's comments. I wonder what community we have gathered here, runners or walkers. The next mistake that I also made at the very beginning. I now have applications where I can earn steps, and I don't want to take steps for free. And as soon as I left the house, I immediately pressed start, turned on the application so that I would be charged tokens for my steps. However, there is a small problem. Near the houses and in general in places where the connection is bad or the GPS works badly, very often the arrow of the speedometer in the application drops to 0. And this is a very big problem. So in order to earn as efficiently as possible and maintain the desired pace as efficiently as possible, you need to be outdoors where there are no large buildings next to us. Then everything will work clearly. Our pace will be in one range, and we will not fall below this mark at which tokens are no longer credited to us. If you plan to walk somewhere in the yards between houses, on the way to work, and so on, I must upset you a little. This may not be effective because you will be walking between houses. From time to time, your speedometer arrow will go to 0 at this point, and you will not be credited with tokens, so you will not earn and energy is wasted. Don't do this. Listen further. The 7th mistake is not to put GST in the application in the first days. It's what happens. You downloaded the application, buy sneakers with 0 or 1 level, then you want to level up. But there's not enough GST to level up. And you think, okay, I don't have enough GST yet. Tomorrow I'll have enough energy, I'll start walking, and I'll start earning GST. Then GST will be enough to level up. And because of that, you'll spend a few days just to upgrade your sneakers to some more acceptable level. Although upgrading to level 4 requires only 10 GST. But at the same time, at the 4th level, the sneakers will already be much more effective than at 0. It's much more effective on the first day to add 10 GST in order to upgrade the sneakers to the 4th on the first day, and on the 2nd day when you already have the energy to start walking. 4th level sneakers will bring you much more GST. This way, you will pay back much faster these 10 GST, especially if you will still invest them in this game to upgrade your sneaker. It's better to do it right away and immediately get more having shoes of a higher level. And a small recommendation from me. If you do not plan to practice minting sneakers, means mix 2 to get a 3rd one, and you just want to walk, then I recommend that you should buy already upgraded sneakers with the level that suits you. You know, look that there is a few mints on the sneaker because such sneakers are cheaper but bring you the same amount of money. Again, if we have a lower entry point, so the price is lower, then the payback will be much faster. For example, you can look at the cheapest sneakers with level 5 or 9. Most likely the cheapest sneakers will also have 2 or 3 more mints. And see also the parameters that these sneakers have normal. By more or less normal, I mean the efficiency and the resilience in total should be more than 10. But I mean more than 10 in base. Sometimes when you open already upgraded sneakers of 5th or 9th level, you see such a gray stripe, and then a green stripe. There is a base button on top. Press this button to see how many parameters this sneaker has in the database, because you can distribute the green additional stripe. And so, if it is distributed somehow incorrectly, for example, luck is upgraded a lot, or comfort then, I generally don't recommend this sneaker for purchase. The 7th mistake, which is the most hype now, I think that it's just as strange as possible, but this has become very popular in the purchase of boxes for crazy money. And if you open the market and see how much common boxes cost, then we will see insanely high prices. Just insanely. The boxes barely start from 19.5 Sol, and most of the boxes exceed 20 Sol. While some sneakers, let's say runners, they cost from 17.5 Sol, walkers will cost from 19 Sol. For 20 Sol, you can choose a good sneaker in terms of parameters that is right for you. But why the topic of boxes has become so popular? The fact is, there is a 3% chance that from a common box, an unusual sneaker will fall out. So, a green one, uncommon. And this unusual green sneaker costs much more. It starts there now from 60 Sol and higher. And due to the fact that in the chats people send screenshots that they've opened a box and this green sneaker fell out and people have it. It's excitement. It's like a casino. Everyone wants to buy a box for 20 Sol and for them to have this green sneaker. But you understand the chance is only 3%. And the probability that it is you who will get the green sneaker from this box is extremely small. No chances. Moreover, a 3% chance, he does not even guarantee that if you buy $33, you will get at least one green sneaker. I've been engaged in mint a lot, for a very long time, and there have been situations where from 85 common boxes didn't drop a single green sneaker. And yes, then a few fell out. Nevertheless, if you don't plan to buy 100 boxes or more, then counting on a few green sneakers to fall out for you is extremely strange. Yes, you might be lucky. But is it worth to overpay for such opportunities? By the way, there is the reverse side, and it is positive. If you do mints, then consider selling boxes because boxes are now inadequately expensive. People are ready to buy something more expensive at a loss for the sake of a small chance that a green sneaker will fall out there. So, if you mint, you can earn more money on this human gambling. Anyway, treat crypto wisely. Do not pour in the last money here. And subscribe to our channel where we talk about all current crypto projects.